Have you ever stopped to think why some men our age manage to convey elegance and sophistication, even wearing simple clothes, while others, even investing in expensive and branded pieces, end up giving an impression of sloppiness or lack of care? You know that moment when you meet an acquaintance in a social situation and think, man, he's well dressed, but something doesn't add up. Over these years, I've realized that the difference between truly elegant men and those who just dress well isn't in the clothes themselves, but in the details that often go unnoticed. For a long time, I focused only on the main pieces, suit, shirt, shoes, thinking that was enough to have an impeccable appearance. But I discovered the hard way that it's the small neglected details that can completely sabotage any look. Today, I'm going to share with you the 6 details that sabotage the style of elegant men over 40 years old. And look, item number 6 is something that many men our age do, thinking they're being meticulous, but that actually might be causing the completely opposite effect. So stay with me until the end because, in my experience, taking care of these details can be the difference between looking like a truly elegant man or someone who tries but can't achieve that natural sophistication. Tip 1. Poorly maintained or dirty nails. Let's start with something that might seem obvious. Poorly maintained or dirty nails. Man, this is a detail that many men our age neglect, thinking it's secondary. But dirty nails, too long or poorly trimmed, can instantly ruin any elegant look. The problem is that people notice. When you extend your hand to greet someone, when you hold a document in a meeting, or when you gesture during a conversation, your hands are always in evidence. And poorly maintained nails communicate lack of attention to detail. I myself went through an embarrassing situation in an important meeting where I noticed the client was looking at my hands strangely. Only later did I realize that my nails were poorly maintained. The solution is simple and doesn't take even 10 minutes per week. Keep your nails always clean and trimmed. They don't need to be perfect, but they should be presentable. The practical tip is, have a basic manicure kit at home. Cut your nails regularly, keep them clean, and if necessary, use a small brush to remove accumulated dirt. And look, if you're noticing that these details really make a difference, subscribe to the channel because I have many more practical tips based on real experience. Tip 2. Disheveled hair or inadequate haircut now. Let's talk about disheveled hair or haircut inadequate for age. Hair is one of the first things people notice. And when it's disheveled, too long, or with a cut that doesn't match your age and social position, it can completely compromise your appearance. I see many men our age who maintain the same haircut for decades, without realizing that what worked at 25 might not work anymore at 45. Or men who let their hair grow too much between cuts. The problem is that poorly maintained hair can make you look older, less professional, or simply disorganized, regardless of the quality of your clothes. The solution is to find a trusted barber and establish a regular cutting routine. For most men our age, cuts every 3-4 weeks are ideal. It's also important to adapt the cut to your age and lifestyle. More structured and classic cuts generally work better for mature men. The tip is, invest in a quality professional. A good haircut can last weeks and makes all the difference in your overall appearance. Are these tips I bring in this video being useful to you? Show your support with a like. Your interaction allows this content to reach other incredible people like you. Tip 3. Dirty or poorly maintained shoes. This item can destroy any elegant look. Dirty or poorly maintained shoes. Shoes are one of the pieces that most communicate about your personal care. Dirty shoes without shine, with worn heels, or visibly mistreated can make you look sloppy, even if the rest of the look is impeccable. The problem is that many men treat shoes as something secondary, focusing only on clothes. But well-maintained shoes are a clear sign of elegance and sophistication. During a period, I completely neglected the maintenance of my shoes. I wore them until they were visibly worn, without realizing the negative impact on my appearance. The solution is to establish a shoe care routine. Clean them regularly, use appropriate products for the type of leather, and keep them organized. The strategy is, have at least 2 quality pairs that you can alternate. This allows each pair to rest and last much longer. Tell me in the comments, do you have a shoe care routine? What difference did you notice when you started taking better care of them? Tip 4. Wrinkled or poorly ironed clothes lead. Let's talk about something that can sabotage any quality piece. Wrinkled or poorly ironed clothes. It doesn't matter if you're wearing an expensive brand shirt. If it's wrinkled, you'll look sloppy. Wrinkled clothes communicate haste, lack of organization, or simply carelessness with your own image. The problem is especially serious in important professional or social situations, where first impression counts a lot. A poorly ironed shirt can make you look like you didn't prepare adequately. I myself once arrived at an important meeting with wrinkled clothes, and it definitely affected how I was perceived. The solution isn't necessarily taking everything to the dry cleaner. Learn to use an iron properly, invest in a steamer for quick touch-ups, and organize your wardrobe so clothes don't wrinkle. The practical tip is, whenever you take clothes from the wardrobe, take a general look. If they're wrinkled, it's worth spending a few minutes ironing before going out. And look, if you're seeing value in these tips tested in practice, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Tip 5. Disproportional or cheap accessories. We come to a delicate point. Disproportional or visibly cheap accessories. I'm talking about huge watches that don't match the wrist, synthetic leather belts that peel, wallets deformed by cards, or any accessory that draws attention for the wrong reasons. The problem is that low-quality accessories can make you look like you economized in the wrong place. Disproportional accessories can create an unbalanced appearance that compromises the entire look. The solution is to follow the less is more rule and invest in quality instead of quantity. It's better to have few good quality accessories than many of dubious quality. The strategy is, choose accessories proportional to your body type and that complement the look without drawing excessive attention. If you have a limited budget, prefer classic and timeless pieces that will last years. Leave it in the comments. Have you ever had problems with inadequate accessories? How was the experience when investing in better quality pieces? Tip 6. Neglected personal hygiene or excessive perfume. And we arrive at the item I promised. Something that many men do thinking they're being meticulous. Neglecting basic personal hygiene or using excessive perfume. Inadequate personal hygiene can sabotage any look, no matter how expensive your clothes are. I'm talking about oily hair, poorly groomed beard, poorly maintained teeth, or body odors that could be easily avoided. On the other hand, excessive perfume is also problematic. Many men our age think that strong perfume is synonymous with elegance, but it can actually be invasive and unpleasant. The problem is that these details are noticed immediately, but are rarely commented on directly. They simply create a negative impression that can affect how you're perceived. The solution for hygiene is to establish a consistent daily routine. For perfume, the rule is less is more. The fragrance should be discovered, not announced. The perfume tip is, apply to pulse points in moderate quantity. If you can smell your own perfume all day, you're probably using too much. Recapping the 6 details that sabotage style: poorly maintained nails, disheveled hair, poorly maintained shoes, wrinkled clothes, inadequate accessories, and hygiene problems or excessive perfume. In my experience, taking care of these details can completely transform your presence and how you're perceived. It's not about perfection, but about consistency and attention to the small details that make the big difference. Remember, true elegance is in the details. You can have the best clothes in the world, but if you neglect these basic points, you'll compromise your entire appearance. So, which of these details have you already neglected? Which one will you start taking better care of from now on? Leave your experience in the comments, because I love exchanging ideas with men who, like us, understand that taking care of details is a matter of self-respect and professionalism. If the content was useful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And stay tuned because in the next video, I'll show the complete personal care routine for elegant men over 40. Until then, if you made it this far, it's because you take seriously improving your style. So I prepared this next video for you to watch. It's the perfect step for you to continue evolving. And take a look at this playlist too. It has a complete map to dress like a true gentleman over 40. Stylish, elegant, and powerful every day until the next video.